Story 1. Am I the a-hole for refusing to bring my nanny family's baby back home? I, 27 female, have been a nanny for the same family for about 6 months now. It's a 1-year-old baby girl, and she is the sweetest baby ever. I thought the family was really nice and that we had a good working relationship, until yesterday. I always take the baby on walks, either around the neighborhood, or we walk down to this cool shopping center where they have a little fountain and a bubble tea shop we like to hang out at. There's toys and games, and she always has fun there. We walked down to the bubble tea shop yesterday, and we're playing as usual. We're usually out for like an hour, when it started raining. It drizzled a bit, so we went inside the shop to wait it out before walking back, and then it started pouring, like storming. It was awful. It rained for so long. I texted the mom saying, "Hey, it's raining really bad, so we're just going to wait it out, but we're at the bubble tea shop." She told me it was almost the baby's nap time and that I needed to head home now like usual. I asked her if she had looked out the window to see how bad it was raining, and she said, "Yes, baby has a cover for their stroller. She'll be fine. Please head back." I told her the baby has a cover, but I don't have an umbrella or jacket, and I'll get soaked and will have to finish out my shift soaking wet. I asked if she or her husband could just come pick us up, and she said it's my job to do what she says. I told her I was not walking back in the rain. After an hour, yes, it kept raining, her husband came and picked us up, apologizing, saying he was sleeping and didn't know we were out here in the rain. When we got back, Mom screamed at me, saying how dare I not bring her baby home when she told me to, and accused me of kidnapping. Dad said she was being dramatic, but didn't really do much. She threatened to fire me and told me not to come in today and that we will discuss everything Monday. Was I wrong for not coming back? It was pouring. I didn't want to have to sit in soaked clothes for hours. My hair would get ruined. I didn't want to get sick. Like, there's so many reasons I didn't want to be in the pouring rain. Plus, it didn't feel that safe. I guess if I'm wrong, I'll apologize Monday, but my boyfriend said she's being unreasonable and can't fire me for that. I feel like I should quit. I don't know. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Boyfriend says she can't fire me for that because of my contract. She has to give me notice, 6 weeks, if she doesn't want me to work for her anymore, or else she has to pay me for the time I'm missing. I also did check the weather, but it said it was raining way later that night. The sun was shining when we left. Mom also asked me to take her on these walks daily. I enjoy them, but a lot of comments keep talking about these walks as if they're for me. And yes, it was a thunderstorm. Not really the a-hole. You did check the weather. I think this mom is being really unreasonable, especially if there was a cover for the baby and you want her to walk her home. If anything happens with that cover, if it was raining that hard and that baby, if that stroller gets soaked or anything at all, I think that mom would have still come down on the nanny hard. The father seems kind of reasonable, but still kind of ineffective. It seems like the mom is the one that calls the shots in that household. I don't think she's the a-hole at all. What do you think? Story 2. What do you mean I can't drive my car? I've been a mechanic my entire working life so far, and this is one of my favorite experiences. I had a customer come in complaining about a vibration. I put the vehicle on the lift and checked the front end. I found a nearly broken tie rod and a faulty rack and pinion. So basically, the passenger side front wheel was not secured to the steering system and would soon break and cause the wheel to be completely disconnected from the steering. I told the customer how much the repair would be and told her it was unsafe to drive. She asked me to put it back together so she could leave. I told her that I couldn't do that because if it broke after I let her leave, I could be held liable. She started yelling and screaming about calling the cops and suing me, and how her cousin's brother knows a guy who's related to the chief of police and I'll be arrested. She called the police and they came out. I showed the officers the vehicle, and they understood the safety concern. They told me to just put the car down and let her leave. I did, and even made her sign a statement declining crucial safety repairs. She left with the most "ha-ha, told you so" smug grin on her face. Until she left the property, got pulled over, and her car impounded. They also gave her a ticket for reckless driving. I was so happy seeing her car get towed. Edit for clarification, the cops told her it was against the law to drive it. The state laws back then allowed me to do exactly what I did. I offered to discount the price of the repair and take payments. She still refused. And I don't care how well-versed you think you are in the law. You don't know when or where this took place. And no, I won't tell you what state I'm in because I've already had several people message me saying they're going to try and find my shop just to harass and blast me. I understand that people feel wary of car mechanics and getting ripped off and everything, but I don't know, maybe you could have shown them. Maybe you could have shown this person how broken this thing is, maybe compared to another system, to another car and their front passenger wheel. But yeah, I guess the cops just really wanted to bait and switch this person and wait till she got off the property and pull her over. Geez. You know, good for just being patient and talking to the cops and explaining things carefully. Not liable. Story 3. You don't want veggies in your chicken soup? Got it, kids. Kids are awesome at malicious compliance. But it's a two-way street. My kids can be picky eaters at times. My wife made some damn good chicken soup, but the kids were complaining that there were veggies in their chicken soup. They hate veggies. Veggies make them sick, and they wanted my wife to pick them out of the soup. We tried to tell them that good chicken soup needs veggies to taste good, but they were being stubborn. I'm sure other parents can understand. I told the kids, if you really hate the taste of veggies, I'll make soup tomorrow, and you guys can make sure I only put stuff in you like. They liked that idea. At the time. The next day, I got the pot filled with water, all the typical soup ingredients out, and gathered the kids. I asked for their approval on every item. Chicken? Yes. Salt? Yes. Black pepper? No. Gross, too spicy. Celery? No. I can't even stand the smell. Onions? No. It went on with that, with them rejecting parsley, bay leaves, and other veggies. The total contents of the pot ended up being chicken, water, salt, noodles. After the soup was done cooking, I served it up, and they excitedly started to eat. A few funny faces later, and one of them says, "It tastes weird. This isn't very good." I said, "But I only put in everything you guys approved. I think from now on, I should make the soup, right?" They looked at each other and said, "Can we have Mom's soup instead?" Since that day, they haven't complained about finding veggies mixed in the food. Sure, they almost always eat around a carrot or green pea, but they understand that it adds flavor. Good parenting right there. Get them involved. Show them what goes into making the soup. And let them see and taste what happens when you don't put everything in that makes it taste good. Great example here. Excellent. Way to go.
Please like and subscribe if you made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day.
Story 4. Crazy lady accuses me of kidnapping my stepson. Tries to kidnap him from me. So this happened about a week ago, and I honestly am still fuming from this. I'm not sure if this belongs in this forum, but here goes. First, a little backstory. I'm a mixed ethnicity individual. I've been confused for many races over the course of my 29 years on this planet, but I'm literally Caucasian and African American. Usually it can be figured out, but the difference with me is my father is the Caucasian, so therefore my hair is straight. I'm originally from Texas and am usually confused for being Mexican, but now I live in Massachusetts and I've never had an issue with anyone concerning my race. Until this day. Also, I'm married to a Caucasian woman who had a child before we were married. His father is not in his life as much, and I took the responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's 4 now, and I've been in his life since he was 1. Anyways, on to the story. My wife needed a few things from the grocery store, and she needed to run a few more errands, and usually she just goes and knocks things out herself because I'm sleepy. I work nights. But this particular day, I happened to be awake, and I offered to go for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I definitely felt it was necessary to do something for her so she could just relax for the day. I took my son with me so she could rest up and just take it easy, and it gave me time to spend with my son for some bonding. We completed all of the errands, which went smoothly, and then headed to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, being a typical 4-year-old, was full of energy, running ahead of me, laughing, and speaking to everyone he comes across, which I generally don't mind as long as he doesn't hit anyone and stays within eye view. As I'm making my way down an aisle looking for canned corn, my son jogs to the end of it when an older lady is entering at the other end. My son, being the sweet social butterfly he is, approached and exclaimed in excited, "Hi, me 4, and me Ryan." Bless his little heart. The lady looked down and said, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be running around unattended. Let's go find your parents." I didn't think anything of her statement because I assumed she just hadn't seen me. "Ryan, come back here, bud, please." He excitedly runs back towards me and starts turning in circles because, he's 4. I'm still searching the shelves as the lady walks past me and stops behind me. Again, I think nothing of it because it's a grocery store and you have to share the aisles. I turn my basket around and start to walk toward the front cash registers when this lady literally blocks my path. I say, "Excuse me," and try to walk around her, and she moves her cart in front of me again. I honestly thought she was just getting confused and said, "Excuse me," once again, and tried one more time to go around, and she just blocked my path. The following convo ensues. Me, sorry about that. We'll get out of your way. Lady, "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child." Me, "You mean my son?" Lady, "That's not your child. He's white, and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me." Me, "Sure, whatever, lady. Can you just move? My wife is at home and anxiously awaiting for us." Lady, "Stop your lies. You're not taking him anywhere, you pervert." This whole time, my son is standing close to me, holding my leg because he was honestly getting scared. I was getting angry because I hadn't had much sleep, and I have a short fuse anyway. Thanks, Dad. Me, as you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me, and you're scaring him. So how about you buzz off? Lady, "No, he's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet." She looks at my son. Lady, "Come on now, sweetie. I'm here to rescue you. Come with me." Thankfully, my son was able to communicate to her he wasn't going anywhere with her. But she was having none of it. She literally grabbed my son and began to run. It caught me off guard because I honestly couldn't fathom what was actually happening. My son starts screaming loudly because he was so scared, and this lady is just like, "Don't worry, sweetie, he won't hurt you, I promise." Suddenly, I snap back into reality and begin to chase after this crazy shrew. While running through the store, I yell for people to stop her and that she's kidnapping my son, and thankfully, a worker stops her before she makes the exit. Lady, "Why are you stopping me? This Mexican here is trying to kidnap my grandson." My son literally is bawling his eyes out and extending his arms out, calling for me. This lady was relentless and would not let go until my son, even after he slapped her face multiple times. I laughed a little, not gonna lie. At this point, a manager shows up and asks what's going on. The lady spoke before me. "This pervert is trying to kidnap my grandson, and I was just trying to escape." Me, "That's my son, you freaking psycho. Now let him go." The manager didn't know what to believe. I don't blame him. He was caught in a weird situation. So I pulled out my phone and showed him pictures of me and my son that dated a year or so back as proof. This lady still would not give up and accused me of faking them. Like, how would you do that exactly? I'll never know, but whatever. Sadly, there were two other ladies there taking the psycho side and saying I was attempting to kidnap my own son because there was no way we were family because of our different skin tones. One even called the police, which I was actually happy about because I knew they'd be able to review the security cameras. Even still, I called my wife to see if she could come to the store to get the situation cleared up quicker. As soon as I told her what was going on, she zoomed to the store. She got there about the same time as the police. The crazy ladies were giving their statement to the cops when my wife walked in. As soon as she walked in, my son went, "Mama, help!" My wife is a true mama bear, and she immediately flew into a rage when she saw this lady holding my son. Wife, let him go now. Lady, sorry, sweetie, I was just trying to protect him from this pervert over here. Lady 2, yeah, we saw him trying to kidnap him, but this lady saved him. The cop looks at the lady and is confused. Officer, I thought this was your grandson. Wife, I have no idea who that lady is. She takes out her phone and shows the officer a picture of my mother-in-law. Lady, okay, I'm sorry, he's not my grandson, but I was only trying to protect him from this dirty pervert over here. Lady 2, yeah, I witnessed the whole thing. He snatched that child and tried to run away with him, but this lady stopped it. Lady 3, yeah, I saw it too. He needs to be arrested. And you, pointing to my wife, should be thankful that this lady was here to save your son because you obviously just let him loose wherever. Wife, who are you talking about again? All three crazy ladies pointed at me. Wife, oh, you mean my husband? Lady 1, husband? Wife, yeah. Who do you think called me and got me here so fast? I presented my ID. The officer and the manager and my wife did the same. We also each showed pictures of us on our phones to prove that we were really a family. The cop nodded in approval and handed us our phones back and jotted down a few notes. The three ladies, for some reason, still kept trying to say this was all fake, and my wife was in on the kidnapping and said we needed to be arrested. My wife lost it at this point and let off some colorful words I won't repeat here, but she definitely got her point across. Then, the nail in the coffin came from the psycho trio. The officer turned to the manager and asks, "Sir, do the cameras work here?" Manager, "Yes, we have them inside and out." Officer, "Okay, great. Let's go review." The three ladies' faces went pale, like ghostly pale. The officer reviewed the outside camera as I pulled into the parking lot and saw me take my son out of my car, and then as I went up and down the aisles, and most importantly, the instant the woman snatched up my son and began to run. Upon his return, he asks, "Officer, would you like to press charges?" Lady 1, "Yes, I would." Officer, "Why would I be asking you that question? Shut your mouth and sit down." He turns to me and repeats the question. Me, absolutely. Lady 1 was charged with attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report, and child endangerment. The other two were also charged with providing a false police report as well. To make matters worse for Lady 1, my son bruises easily, and she left some terrible spots on him from where she was grasping him, but he's fine. This added a charge of child abuse to her rap sheet. I have court later this year, but I'm not sure when because of COVID. The officer will be following up with me in a few weeks. Sorry for the length. Oh, so good to see something followed through on people that she just basically racist. Just because he's a different skin color, there's just no way he could be this person's father, this kid's father. Oh, I wish there was a follow-up we could read up on the court date and see what happens. These are not going to be charges this crazy lady is really not going to be able to live down. She's going to have to live with this. I mean, it's just the consequences of her actions. Let's just hope the court agrees that these need to be those consequences.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.